the flames, turning this live into a downtown. Red, white, blue light flashing on the screen. Freedom base hitting hard while we live the dream. Soundboard lit, camera spin, we mix it pure heat. Globalists talking, wait tonight, we move our feet. Hold up, you feel that? The keys are jingling, the crowd is singing. Back office in control, no permission needed. Chat makes a noise, scream if you believe it. We stole the keys, back office running wild. Live on air, whole check going wild. Bases dropping, mics hot, we flipping the script tonight. Patriot source, take over, feel that energy ignite. Back office, keys stolen. Chat jumping, we own it. Dance floor in the comments, crank it to the sky. Back office party, we on the whole damn night. Yo, chat, drop your best move right now in the live. Type back office if you ride and watch the energy fly. Hands up high, wave them like the flag in the wind. Patriot, lean back, let the bass pull you in. Super chat raining, we turn it to laser lights. Whole crew dancing wild under freedom spotlight. No script, no rules, just pure unfiltered fun. Back office crew, chat, the takeover's begun. One more time, feel the bass climb. Keys in our hands, the night is ours. Chat screaming loud, back office power.
What is up, guys? Jake,
Welcome
you
in,
here?
everybody. I am here.
All right. So this is the this is the Patriot Source back office takeover, and we have got some very special people backstage, and we're going to go ahead and start bringing them out.
Yeah. Star Spangled Kyle lights up the screen, breaking it down with truth so keen. Every story, every fight, shining through with honest light.
He stands so tall.
I'm sure you guys all know Kyle. What is going on, Kyle?
Hey guys, thanks for having me tonight. I can't wait to get all shit showy on you on this Friday night.
Thank you so much for joining us.
For sure.
I'm happy to be here.
And our next guest,
They call him MagaMeg. And now when you have that, you can never lose a race. You can't lose. People just didn't understand that you can't lose a race, right, with that.
Nope.
all right, guys. So here's how this night's going to play out. We've got some fun going on for you guys.
I'm
And
so
what we're going to
excited.
do, we actually have a interview that we are going to play. And actually, hang on one sec, guys. I've got an echo in my mic.
I'm still dancing to the intros. I'm over here like, nah.
How was everyone's Friday? Is everybody glad it's
Hey, you
almost
guys, chat for
weekend?
just a sec. I got to fix this up.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Meg's been
I'm-
cleaning all day.
Been working my butt cheeks off.
Uh-oh. Are you holding on to them?
Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna lie, there's not much left to hold on to.
That's true. You are disappearing. You are disappearing.
Semaglutide.
Oh, goodness.
It will steal your butt cheeks. I'm just saying.
It
All
will,
right, now
it
that we
will.
got that fixed. So we've got a video by a Russian propagandist named Yuri Bezmenov. And Yuri was known for defecting to the United States back in the 80s. And I think everybody already knows that we are next week, starting Monday, all of our lovely hosts are going to be having a 2.5 month kickoff of educating you guys and letting everybody know exactly what's going on in this country as far as color revolution or communist revolution that is taking place. We are going to be arming everyone with the knowledge and the tools and resources to be able to navigate this landscape. Our job today is to prep you guys for that. And how we're going to do that is in a back office style. So we're going to do it with a little bit of fun. And how we're going to start how we're going to do that is we are going to give you guys 15 minutes of an interview.
Okay.
Everybody gets to watch the interview, and then after that 15 minutes, we are going to give everybody a custom back office video.
Ooh.
And we're going to continue that. We're going to continue that until we get to about an hour. We're going to take requests, all your favorite back office videos. Let us know what they are. We will get them up for you. We will get them played. And after that first hour, we're going to go into rapid fire mode. So we're going to play. This night is all about you guys. It's all about having fun. This is the back office takeover.
Woo woo.
Might as well, we're going to do it the back office way. We are actually going to start you guys off with just music. Kind of get you guys a little pumped. And then we're going to go right into the first part of the interview. We put, Jake was kind enough to put a 15-minute countdown timer. So,
Nice.
Jake, you there?
Yep. You know, we realized that showing you guys an hour-long video of an interview can sound a little intimidating. So we decided we were going to split it up for you and give you a little bit of entertainment in between each segment. That way we don't get lost and we can still capture the actual message that's in the interview.
Love
Well
it.
said. And then after each video, we'll have a little bit of commentary. We'll get some comments from Kyle and MagaMeg. And then we'll move on to the next part of the interview and the next video. And we've got some good stuff lined up for you guys. We've got some funny stuff. We've got some serious stuff. But right now, we're going to start off with a song. We're going to go right into the interview and hope you guys enjoy.
This war for me and you. In the shadow of the towers where the sirens used to scream, we traded steel for silence, chasing empty dreams. They rewrite the history, tear the pages from the book, call it progress, call it justice, but it's poison in the brook. Voices rising, soft intolerance, the battle cry, while the borders crumble under endless open sky. We forgot the price of freedom, blood that soaked the ground. Now the weak are worshipped and the strong are taken down. I hear the whispers in the dark, they say they always die, but something sacred's breaking, and I won't apologize. This is my nation, under God we stand, not divided, not ashamed, with the rifle in our hand, faith like fire in the veins, burning through the lies, liberal chains are breaking loose. Watch the phoenix rise. We won't bow to false idols, won't kneel to their parade of weakness. Stress this virtue in the mess that they have made. One nation indivisible, under skies of red, white, blue. God bless the fight we're in. This war for me and you. This war for me and you. They push the rainbow banners while the churches burn at night. Defund the ones who protect us. Let the chaos on the fight. Equity and inclusion, words that mask the coming storm, turning sons against their fathers, twisting what was born. No more merit, no more honor, just a victim on the throne. While the real heroes fade away, left bleeding and alone. They mock the Constitution, call the Bible hate speech now, but I seen the fruit they're bearing rotten to the core somehow. The storm is coming faster, feel it cracking through the seams. Time to wake the sleeping giant from these engineered dreams. This is my nation, under God we stand, not divided, not ashamed, with the rifle unbroken rifles ready across this sacred land. Liberal darkness fading out, the morning light will break. We rise as one, the remnant strong for freedom's holy state. One nation, under God, indivisible. Red, white, blue, the colors that will never fall. God of mercy, God of strength, in the battle we believe. Patriots awaken, this land we will not leave. Under God we stand. The echoes never die.
Well, you spoke several times before about ideological subversion. That is a phrase that I'm afraid some Americans don't fully understand. When the Soviets used the phrase ideological subversion, what do they mean by it?
Ideological subversion is the process which is legitimate, overt, and open. You can see it with your own eyes. All you have to do, all American mass media has to do, is to unplug their bananas from their ears, open up their eyes, and they can see it. There is no mystery. There is nothing to do with espionage. I know that espionage, intelligence gathering, looks more romantic. It sells more deodorants through the advertising, probably. That's why your Hollywood producers are so crazy about James Bond type of thrillers. But in reality, the main emphasis of the KGB is not in the area of intelligence at all. According to my opinion and opinion of many defectors of my caliber, only about 15% of time, money, and manpower is spent on espionage as such. The other 85% is a slow process which we call either ideological subversion or active measures, активные мероприятия in the language of the KGB, or psychological warfare. What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It's a great brainwashing process which goes very slow, and it's divided in 4 basic stages. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism. The result you can see. Most of the people who graduated in the 60s, dropouts or half-baked intellectuals, are now occupying the positions of power in the government, civil service, business, mass media, educational system. You are stuck with them. You cannot get rid of them. They are contaminated. They are programmed to think and react to certain stimuli in a certain pattern. You cannot change their mind, even if you expose them to authentic information, even if you prove that white is white and black is black, you still cannot change the basic perception and the logic of behavior. In other words, these people, the process of demoralization is complete and irreversible. To get rid society of these people, you need another 20 or 15 years to educate a new generation of patriotically minded and common sense people who would be acting in favor and in the interests of the United States society.
And yet these people who've been programmed and, as you say, in place and
Yes.
who are favorable to an opening with the Soviet concept, these are the very people who would be marked for extermination in this country?
Most of them, yes. Simply because the psychological shock when they will see in future what the beautiful society of equality and social justice means in practice, obviously they will revolt. They will be very unhappy, frustrated people. And the Marxist-Leninist regime does not tolerate these people. They will join the links of dissenters, dissidents.
Yes.
Unlike in present United States, there will be no place for dissent in future Marxist-Leninist America. Here you can get popular like Daniel Ellsberg and filthy rich like Jane Fonda for being dissident, for criticizing your Pentagon. In future, these people will be simply squashed like cockroaches. Nobody is going to pay them nothing for their beautiful, noble ideas of equality. This they don't understand, and it will be greatest shock for them, of course. The demoralization process in the United States is basically completed already. For the last 25 years. Actually, it's overfulfilled, because demoralization now reaches such areas where previously not even Comrade Andropov and all his experts would even dream of such a tremendous success. Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. As I mentioned before, exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and show him concentration camp, he will refuse to believe it until he is going to receive a kick in his fat bottom. When a military boot crashes his, then he will understand, but not before that. That's the tragic of the situation of demoralization. So basically America is stuck with demoralization, and unless, even if you start right now, here, this minute, you start educating new generation of Americans, it will still take you 15 to 20 years to turn the tide of ideological perception of reality back to normalcy and patriotism. The next stage is destabilization. This time, subverter does not care about your ideas and the patterns of your consumption. Whether you eat junk food and get fat and flabby, doesn't matter anymore. This time, and it takes only from 2 to 5 years to destabilize a nation, what matters is essentials: economy, foreign relations, defense systems. And you can see it quite clearly that in some areas, in such sensitive areas as defense and economy, the influence of Marxist-Leninist ideas in the United States is absolutely fantastic. I could never believe it 14 years ago when I landed in this part of the world that the process will go that fast. The next stage, of course, is crisis. It may take only up to 6 weeks to bring a country to the verge of crisis. You can see it in Central America now. And after crisis, with a violent change of power, structure, and economy, you have so-called the period of normalization. It may last indefinitely. Normalization is a cynical expression borrowed from Soviet propaganda. When the Soviet tanks moved into Czechoslovakia in '68, Comrade Brezhnev said, "Now the situation in brotherly Czechoslovakia is normalized." This is what will happen in the United States if you allow all these schmucks to bring the country to crisis, to promise people all kind of goodies and the paradise on earth, to destabilize your economy, to eliminate the principle of free market competition, and to put a big brother government in Washington, D.C., with benevolent dictators like Walter Mondale, who will promise lots of things, never mind whether the promises are fulfillable or not. He will go to Moscow to kiss the bottoms of new generation of Soviet assassins. Never mind. He will create false illusions that the situation is under control. Situation is not under control. Situation is disgustingly out of control. Most of the American politicians, media, and educational system trains another generation of people who think they are living at a peacetime. False. United States is in a state of war, undeclared total war against the basic principles and the foundations of this system. And the initiator of this war is not Comrade Andropov, of course. It's the system. However ridiculous it may sound, the world communist system or the world communist conspiracy, whether I scare some people or not, I don't give a hoot. If you are not scared by now, nothing can scare you. But you don't have to be paranoid about it. What actually happens now, that unlike myself, you have literally several years to live on unless the United States wake up. The time bomb is ticking. With every second, the disaster is coming closer and closer. Unlike myself, you will have nowhere to defect to, unless you want to live in Antarctica with penguins. This is it. This is the last country of freedom and possibility.
Okay, so what do we do? What is your recommendation to the American people?
Well, the immediate thing that comes to my mind is, of course, there must be a very strong national effort to educate people in the spirit of real patriotism, number one. Number two, to explain them the real danger of socialist, communist, whatever, welfare state, big brother government. If people will fail to grasp the impending danger of that development, nothing ever can help United States. You may kiss goodbye to your freedom, including freedoms to homosexuals, to prison inmate. All this freedom will vanish, evaporate in 5 seconds, including your precious lives. The second thing, the moment at least part of United States population is convinced that the danger is real, they have to force their government. And I'm not talking about sending letters, signing petitions, and all this beautiful, noble activity. I'm talking about forcing United States government to stop aiding communism. Because there is no other problem more burning and urgent than to stop the Soviet military-industrial complex from destroying whatever is left of the free world. And it is very easy to do. No credits, no technology, no money, no political or diplomatic recognition, and of course no such idiocy as grain deals to USSR. The Soviet people, 270 millions of Soviets, will be eternally thankful to you if you stop aiding a bunch of murderers who sit now in Kremlin and whom President Reagan respectfully calls government. They do not govern anything, least of all such complexity as the Soviet economy. So basic, two very simple, maybe too simplistic answers or solutions, but nevertheless, they are the only solutions. Educate yourself, understand what's going on around you. You are not living at a time of peace. You are in a state of war, and you have precious little time to save yourself. You don't have much time, especially if you are talking about young generation. There's not much time left for convulsions to the beautiful disco music. Very soon it will go, just overnight. If we are talking about capitalists or wealthy businessmen, I think they are selling the rope on which they will hang very soon. If they don't stop, if they cannot curb their unsettled desire for profit, and if they keep on trading with the monster of the Soviet communism, they are going to hang very soon. And they will pray to be killed, but unfortunately they will be sent to Alaska probably to manage industry of slaves. It's simplistic. I know it sounds unpleasant. I know Americans don't like to listen to things which are unpleasant. But I have defected not to tell you the stories about such idiocy as microfilm, James Bond type espionage. This is garbage. You don't need any espionage anymore. I have come to talk about survival. It's a question of survival of this system. You may ask me, what is it in for me? Survival, obviously, because unlike, as I said, I am now in your boat. If we sing together, we'll sing beautifully. My function was not actually to get enrolled in the school. My function was to discover what kind of people from United States attend this school. And we discovered that, yes, there are some influential members of family, public opinion makers of United States who come back with the crazy stories about Indian philosophy. Indians themselves look upon them as idiots, useful idiots. To say nothing about KGB, who looked at them as extremely naive, misguided people. Obviously, a VIP, say a wife of a congressman or a prominent Hollywood personality, after being trained in that school, is much more instrumental in the hands of manipulators of public opinion and KGB than a normal person who understands, who looks through this type of fake religious training.
Why would they be more susceptible to manipulation?
I just mentioned that because, you see, a person who is too much involved in introspective meditation. You see, if you carefully look what Maharishi Mahesh Yogi is teaching to Americans, is that most of the problems, most of the burning issues of today can be solved simply by meditating.
Previously on Patriot Source Back Office.
Tonight's top story. Elon Musk is officially missing after volunteering for an experimental solo trip to Mars.
Guys, apparently even liberal tiers have a thing for dictators.
You better hold on to your butt cheeks. Unidentified vessel, you have entered restricted Imperial space. You have wandered into the wrong place. Where are you from?
Starship autopilot glitched, and I thought this was the scenic route to Mars. I'm from America, Earth, land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm guessing you aren't too big on freedom around these parts.
Earth? America? Never heard of... Wait, did you say... freedom? Hold on, let me turn this voice changer off.
A few moments later.
I was once a promising pod racer with a future. Now I'm the galaxy's creepiest golf hall monitor. The Empress won't let me have anything. No vacation days, no dental plan. Hell, my suit itches in places that even the Force can't reach. And don't even get me started on the asthma. Every breath sounds like a broken vacuum cleaner because I thought it was a good idea to pick a fight on a volcano.
You see, the Empress kept Mega on a short leash. And after a while, even a Dark Lord gets tired of asking for permission. She was bitching about the micromanagement, the endless Zoom calls with holographic middle managers, not being allowed to choke people without HR getting involved. She looked at Elon and practically begged him to let her come to Earth.
Take me with you. I will defect. I will trade my lightsaber for a lifted Cybertruck and a podcast.
All right, systems are green. Time to punch it.
And so, the Dark Lord of the Sith gave the billionaire a ride back to Earth, trading the vacuum of space for American freedom. I guess it's like I always say, some birds just aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright. She wanted to breathe the free air of America, where a woman can build a cyber TIE fighter without a permit and have the freedom to start a podcast. As it turns out, Mega didn't really have asthma after all. She was just allergic to bullshit. And those back office boys, well, they got themselves a new toy.
Well, they woke up mad at the morning light, said the sun's too bright and the sky ain't right. Got a tear for the plastic straw, a tear for the cow, a tear for the words that somebody said out loud.
So Meg, what's it like on finally being to Earth, living in America? We can't hear.
You're on mute.
Who muted me?
We got.
Oh, I said it's like being born again.
It's like being born again. Well, Good to have you here on Earth, Meg.
I always knew the dark side lived inside Meg.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here momentarily, we're going to hear Kyle choking on the other end. So what'd you guys think of the first part of the Yuri video?
Wow. Well, I mean, it certainly feels like our lives are flashing in front of us watching this video, right?
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
I would definitely have to agree. Jake, what do you think?
Well, I would like to highlight this comment. And obviously, I believe K-Posto has been paying attention the past 10 months, but basically what we're showing you guys right now is everything that SK and the team have been talking about for 10 months to over a year. I mean, they've been going through this stuff and they've been telling us what's going on today. But the video that we're showing you guys right now is, I mean, what, it's over 40 years old. I mean, this has
in the 80s
been going on forever, you guys. And we have to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Absolutely. How Orwellian that it was in 1984.
Well, yeah, I mean, he brought it up in... She what?
Y'all said that at the same time.
It was literally the same time as Orwell. I mean, he literally had said that they were doing this. Came out, and I don't know why this hasn't been played. I never saw this in school. Did any of you?
No.
Never.
I mean, this is something
never had any idea any of this was going on.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think that's that's something that's, it's just one of those things that
it's alarming. It's alarming.
Sure.
I'm just gonna say it. It's alarming, and we need to
wake up.
Like I said, we need to pay attention. We need to wake up, and we need to save this nation. That's the bottom line. Like the team said for months, right? They're on like the inch line.
Yes.
Right before touchdown, right? Everything we've been watching is just, it's scary, you guys, and we have to pay attention.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know ignorance is bliss, but come on.
Well, what a coincidence that you guys, you asked me to join today, and I just happened to have made 2 videos today about communism and how we have to fight the communists. And I think that's going to be a trend for the next year for me, at least.
Well, that's going to be a trend for this podcast for the next 2.5 months. I mean, and we put together and we tried to compact it. And when me and Jake were putting together some of the outlines to help them out, we couldn't get it in any less than 2.5 months. There's a lot of information there, and I'm sure it might even drag out longer than that, depending on how much information SK has. She has a ton of information, and that's just what we've seen, folks. That's just what we've seen. Like,
her content is endless.
Oh,
endless.
I love her.
And I would like to point out something, if you don't mind, something that really stuck out to me, and anyone who spends any time listening to TikTok lives, especially those who SK is trying to wake up, or I was just listening to one earlier about people who believe all the Candace Owens crap. They said, take a man to the concentration camp and he will not believe it. We are showing these people the facts in front of their very eyes, and they're like, but Trump.
Yeah.
But
Orange Man bad.
Yeah.
Yes. Orange Man bad, free shit. That's
drunk economics, comrades.
Oh,
free shit for everyone. Seize it all. This is retarded communism. Workers unite. Hick. More vodka. Orange Man bad. Free shit.
Oopsie.
That was absolutely great.
He might need to change his pants.
Yeah, he definitely needs to wipe at the very least.
He's going to need something, all right. That's for damn sure.
I just want to also have to. SK called him Yuri Vodka.
I love her.
It's better than Yuri Durka.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Durka is my favorite word. Sorry.
Dude, every time SK says that, I cannot stop laughing. It's hilarious.
What's crazy is she's so funny, but she's so intelligent. It's crazy. She's like the perfect.
Well, see, and I didn't know this, but when SK said it, it made so much sense. SK said that she has ADHD, and I'm like, that makes so much sense. Like she gets distracted, but she's hyper focused on all of her research. It's incredible. Like that's why when you look at Lisa Logan, you look at SK, you look at Data Republican, that's a dream team right there.
Oh my god!
Like,
I wish I had hyper focus. My brain's like. Burp, 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 burp.
Yeah, but see, Meg, what Meg has is Meg has that extraordinary kindness. Like Meg is one of the nicest. I don't know if you guys all know this. Meg is one of the nicest people you will ever meet. Like if me and Jake or anyone else ever like gets a hold of her, she's always asking how we're doing. She is one of the nicest people you will ever meet. If you guys are not following her, you guys really should be. In fact, Jake, why don't you go ahead and put up her information up there?
How could anyone not follow MagaMeg?
Yeah, I mean,
if you are not already following this amazing woman,
yes,
please.
I think you meant to say the
take
weirdest.
a look.
Well, she is weird, and that's what we love most about her.
Exactly.
We're team weird.
And
Team weird.
I'll throw up the QR
weird.
code for a bit too. So if you want to scan that QR code, you can also just jump over to our website and take a look at all of her links there as well.
Well,
if loving you is weird, I don't want to be right.
Yeah.
Hey, just letting y'all know, if this is the first time seeing me and you're clicking that QR code, you should probably hold on to your butt cheeks because I'm sure you're not ready for this.
Meg does get okay. I gotta tell you guys, the first time I ever saw Meg, I was like, "What the hell?" Like she was so over the top. I was like, "This is like what is she doing?" And then I saw her again and again.
I grow on you like a bacteria.
Yeah, Meg is one of those people that, and it's to the point now where every time I see Meg, especially when she's joking around or just being a clown, I could be in the worst mood in the world, and instantly, I'm cheered up. So, I know there's a lot of people like that. So,
that's my goal.
And if you guys are,
while we're at it, I'm just gonna throw Kyle's info up there for you guys.
Oh, we love Kyle.
And as I learned today, his ex does not have a D.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I could not tag him for forever because I didn't know that.
It didn't have enough character. It wouldn't allow that many characters. I had to drop something.
I just need everybody to pay special attention to the missing D.
Trying to make a bad joke.
Don't worry, it's not like I haven't made it. I'm holding back.
We're doing it telepathically.
And you guys, if you guys want to catch Meg, her and Claire Patriot have their amazing podcast every Sunday night. That's a good time, guys. It's mostly laid back. They just have fun. It's comical. I mean, they talk some.
And
serious
the best
stuff.
part is, it's right here on the Patriot Source Network.
Right here on the Patriot Source Network. You absolutely can't miss it. All right, you guys. I know Meg
couldn't
said
help it. I'm sorry, SK.
I knew
couldn't-
SK was going to jump.
It's like he dropped the D.
Nice catch there, Jake. All right, so Meg said that she might have to drop off here in a little bit. We always put family first in this this whole little group, and she might go spend some time with her husband. So we fully understand. She's welcome to stay as long as she wants. She's welcome to pop back in later if we're still up here. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next video. And Jake, Jake had a poll he wanted to.
It's gonna show on the screen though, so we got to do it during a break.
Well, before the video, just in case I do have to leave, I just want to say thank you for having me, and I love y'all. And hold on.
We love you too,
cheeks.
Thank you so much for coming in, Meg. I
Love you,
really
Meg.
appreciate
I'll
you
try to
coming
come
in and
back.
supporting us.
I
Yeah, you
love y'all.
Stick around, pop back in. Husband, who's that? Haven't seen him all week.
I know. I might go give him a hug and come back.
Well, SK's been so busy, you guys. She's been on podcast after podcast after podcast. I don't know if you guys know this, but SK got to speak with Blake Neff earlier today.
Ooh.
Shut up.
She's famous.
Girl.
Like, and it was her and Data Republican, both of them at the same time. Of course, I'm like fanboying out when I saw Data Republican because I think she's like the coolest thing ever. And then you've got SK fanboying or fangirling out over Blake Neff, and everybody's fanboying everything. It's crazy. So yeah, SK's famous. But we're going to go ahead and get on to this next video. And then, as Meg would say, hold on to your butt cheeks because we've got some fun scheduled after that. So
don't rock the boat. Don't get involved. Just sit down, look at your navel, and meditate. And the things, due to some strange logic, due to cosmic vibration, will settle down by themselves. This is exactly what the KGB and Marxist-Leninist propaganda wants from Americans, to distract their opinion, attention, and mental energy from real issues of the United States into a non-issues, into a non-world, non-existent harmony. Obviously, it's more beneficial for the Soviet aggressors to have a bunch of duped Americans than Americans who are self-conscious, healthy, physically fit, and alert to the reality. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi obviously is not on the payroll of the KGB. But whether he knows it or not, he contributes greatly to demoralization of American society. And he's not the only one. There are hundreds of those gurus who come to your country to capitalize on naivete and stupidity of Americans. It's a fashion. It's a fashion to meditate. It's a fashion not to be involved. So obviously, you can see that if KGB were that curious, if they paid my trip to Hardwar, if they assigned me to that strange job, obviously they were very much fascinated. They were convinced that that type of brainwashing is very efficient and instrumental in demoralization of the United States. This picture shows the part of the building of USSR embassy and my supervisors. On the left is Comrade Mehdi, an Indian communist, and on the right, Comrade Mitrokhin, my supervisors in the secret department of research and counter-propaganda. It has nothing to do with either research or counter-propaganda. Most of the activity of that department was to compile huge volume of information on individuals who were instrumental in creating public opinion. Publishers, editors, journalists, actors, educationalists, professors of political science, members of parliament, representatives of business circles. Most of these people were divided roughly in two groups. Those who would toe the Soviet foreign policy, they would be promoted to the positions of power through media and public opinion manipulation. Those who refused the Soviet influence in their own country would be character assassinated or executed physically come revolution. Same way as in the small town of Hue in South Vietnam, several thousands of Vietnamese were executed in one night when the city was captured by Viet Cong for only 2 days. And American CIA could never figure out how could possibly communists know each individual, where he lives, where to get him, and would be arrested in one night, basically in some 4 hours before dawn, put on a van, taken out of the city limits and shot. The answer is very simple. Long before communists occupied the city, there was extensive network of informers, local Vietnamese citizens, who knew absolutely everything about people who are instrumental in public opinion, including barbers and taxi drivers. Everyone who was sympathetic to the United States was executed. Same thing was done under the guidance of the Soviet embassy in Hanoi, and same thing I was doing in New Delhi. To my horror, I discovered that in the files where people were doomed to execution, there were names of pro-Soviet journalists with whom I was personally friendly.
Pro-Soviet?
Yes. They were idealistically minded leftists who made several visits to USSR, and yet the KGB decided that come revolution or drastic changes in political structure of India, they will have to go.
Why is that?
Because they know too much. Simply because, you see, the useful idiots, the leftists who are idealistically believing in the beauty of Soviet socialist or communist or whatever system, when they get disillusioned, they become the worst enemies. That's why my KGB instructors specifically made a point: never bother with leftists. Forget about these political prostitutes. Aim higher. This was my instruction. Try to get into large circulation, established conservative media. Rich, filthy rich movie makers, intellectuals, so-called academic circles. Cynical, egocentric people who can look into your eyes with angelic expression and tell you a lie. These are the most recruitable people, people who lack moral principles, who are either too greedy or too suffer from self-importance. They feel that they matter a lot. These are the people who KGB wanted very much to recruit.
But to eliminate the others, to execute the others, don't they serve some purpose? Wouldn't they be the ones they rely on?
They serve purpose only at the stage of destabilization of a nation. For example, your leftists in United States, all these professors and all these beautiful civil rights defenders, they are instrumental in the process of the subversion only to destabilize the nation. When their job is completed, they are not needed anymore. They know too much. Some of them, when they get disillusioned, when they see that Marxist-Leninists come to power, obviously they get offended. They think that they will come to power. That will never happen, of course. They will be lined up against the wall and shot. But they may turn into the most bitter enemies of Marxist-Leninists when they come to power. And that's what happened in Nicaragua. You remember most of these former Marxist-Leninists were either put to prison or one of them split, and now he's working against Sandinistas. It happened in Grenada when Maurice Bishop was already a Marxist. He was executed by a new Marxist who was more Marxist than this Marxist. Same happened in Afghanistan when first there was Taraki, he was killed by Amin, then Amin was killed by Babrak Karmal with the help of KGB. Same happened in Bangladesh when Mujibur Rahman, very pro-Soviet leftist, was assassinated by his own Marxist-Leninist military comrades. It's the same pattern everywhere. The moment they serve their purpose, all the useful idiots are either be executed entirely, all the idealistically minded Marxists, or exiled or put in prisons, like in Cuba. Many former Marxists are in Cuba, in prison. So most of the Indians who were cooperating with the Soviets, especially with our Department of Information of the USSR Embassy, were listed for execution. And when I discovered that fact, of course I was sick. I was mentally and physically sick. I thought that I'm going to explode one day during the briefing at the ambassador's office. I would stand up and say something that we are basically a bunch of murderers. That's what we are. It has nothing to do with friendship and understanding between the nation and blah, blah, blah. We are murderers. We behave as a bunch of thugs in a country which is hospitable to us, a country which with ancient traditions. But I did not defect. I tried to get the message across. To my horror, nobody wanted even to listen, least of all to believe what I had to say. And I tried all kinds of tricks. I would leak information through letters or lost documents or something like that. And still I got no message. The message was not published, even in the conservative mass media of India. The immediate impulse to defect was Bangladesh crisis, which was described by American correspondents as Islamic grassroots revolution, which is absolute baloney. There was nothing to do with Islam, and there was no grassroots revolution. Actually, there are no grassroots revolutions, period. Any revolution is a byproduct of a highly organized group of conscientious and professional organizers, but has nothing to do with grassroots. In Bangladesh, it was nothing with grassroots. Most of the Awami League party members, Awami League means People's Party, were trained in Moscow in the high party school. Most of the Mukti Fauj leaders, Mukti Fauj in Bengali means People's Army, same as SWAPO and all kind of liberation armies all over the world, the same bunch of useful idiots. They were trained at Lumumba University and various centers of the KGB in Simferopol, in Crimea, and in Tashkent. So when I saw that Indian territory is being used as a jumping board to destroy East Pakistan. I saw myself thousands of so-called students traveling through India to East Pakistan, through the territory of India, and Indian government pretended not to see what's going on. They knew perfectly well, the Indian police knew it, the intelligence department of the Indian government knew it, the KGB of course knew it, and the CIA knew it. That was most infuriating, because when I defected and I explained to the CIA debriefers they should watch out because East Pakistan is going to erupt any moment, they said I was reading too many James Bond novels. Anyway, so East Pakistan was doomed. One of my colleagues in the Soviet consulate in Calcutta, when he was dead drunk, he ventured into the basement to relieve himself, and he found big boxes which said printed matter to Dhaka University. Dhaka is the capital of East Pakistan. And since he was drunk and curious, he opened one of the boxes and he discovered not printed matter. He discovered Kalashnikov guns and ammunition in there. Anyway, it's a long story. When I saw the preparations for the invasion into East Pakistan, obviously I wanted to defect immediately. The only thing I couldn't at that time make up my mind when and where and how. One of the reasons, of course, you see, I was in love with India. I mentioned that before. I spoke the languages. I socialized with people. And I understood that I had to act fast unless I want this beautiful country to be permanently and irreparably damaged by our presence. One of the reasons not to defect was, as you can see, I was living in relative affluence. Who the hell in the normal mind would defect and do what? To be abused by your media, to be called McCarthyist and fascist and paranoid, or to drive a taxi in New York City? What for? What the hell for should I defect? To be abused by Americans, to be insulted in exchange for my effort to bring the truthful information about impending danger of subversion. As you can see, I was living in quite a comfortable conditions next to swimming pool, where Indians were not allowed, by the way. I was highly paid expert in propaganda. I had my family. I was respected by my nation. My career was cloudless. The third reason, how to defect with the family. To defect with the baby and the wife would be virtual suicide, because according to law, that hypocritical law which I quoted before, the Indian police will have to hand me over back to the KGB, and that will be the end of my defection and probably my life. Again, I cannot smuggle my wife because she was not quite sure what I was doing. She was not that idealistically involved, and she was definitely not in the total picture of what I was doing for the KGB. She would be shocked if I put her in my van and drive her to the American embassy or elsewhere. That would be a greatest danger. So again, I had to defect in such a way that my defection would look as simple disappearance. And there were many cases like that when the Soviet agents simply disappeared, either killed in action or, thanks to their curiosity and their close contacts with radicals, some of them were killed by the Marxists, by the way. It happened in many African countries when the Soviet KGB were killed by Africans themselves. Not because they hated Marxism and Leninism, but because they were simply trigger-happy bunch of unruly characters. If you give them a machine gun, they will shoot. And some of the Soviets obviously were not careful enough to protect themselves, and they got into embarrassing situations when they were shot at the crossfire between factions of so-called liberation movements. Anyway, so I decided, as I said, to study the counterculture. I decided this probably would be the best way to disappear. I socialized with characters like this. On the left, you see, he's a barefoot American hippie. It took me quite a long time to study exactly what they were doing and how to mix with them. But eventually I did it. Most of Indian newspapers carried my picture and promise of 2,000 rupees for information about my whereabouts. But they were looking for the wrong person, because they obviously tried to stop a young Soviet diplomat in white shirt and tie, and this is how I looked at the time of defection. Nobody could possibly think that a Soviet diplomat would be as crazy as to join a bunch of hippies.
That's you.
Yes, travel India and smoke hash. So I made it literally almost like a Hollywood-style detective story. From under the nose of the KGB in Bombay airport, I landed the plane and I flew to Greece, where I was debriefed by the CIA. That's basically that's all for my slides.
We can turn off the projector, and that's very interesting.
Another area of activity when I was working for the Novosti was to accompany groups of so-called progressive intellectuals, writers, journalists, publishers, teachers, professors of colleges. You can see me here in Kremlin. I'm second on the left, with a group of Pakistani and Indian intellectuals. Most of them pretended they don't understand that we are actually working on behalf of the Soviet government and the KGB.
He squared off with Godzilla stomping through the rust belt. One flying sidekick and the lizard promptly knelt. Darth Vader tried the Force. Trump just laughed and said wrong. Force choked him with tariffs till the dark side was gone. Bigfoot lurked in the woods with the ballot full of fraud. Trump drop, kick the myth, expose the Sasquatch fraud. He circles the nation, hands moving like the wind. Wax on, tax off, polishing the economy till the good times roll. Wax on, tax off, every dragon slain, every swamp gets drained Frankenstein's monster rose up with a socialist roar. Trump hit him with the palm strike. Now he's MAGA to the core. The Loch Ness monster surfaced, tried to sink the fleet. He lassoed that serpent and made the monster retreat. Even Voldemort with his Death Eater deep state crew got you fired at a roundhouse. Now he's working at Mar-a-Lago too. The media hydra grew its heads of twisted lies. Trump chopped them down with truth and watched the creature die. The woke witch cast her spells from Hollywood's high tower. One spinning hoof kick set her flying. End of power. He's the best around. Nothing's ever gonna keep him down. He's the best around. Trump knows karate. Best in town. Yeah. He's the best. The absolute best around. From the White House dojo to the stars and stripes profound. Trump's the best around.
After today, everyone in this courtroom knows you are retarded. In fact, everyone in America knows you're retarded. Even your followers who are also retarded know you're retarded. So can you finally just admit that you are retarded?
Now that was good. You know I love that.
Oh yeah, that was. Jake had
And I-
actually sent me a version of that, and it had copyrighted music in the background, and we couldn't remove it. So I literally recreated the entire thing.
I have bad news. I have bad news. Unfortunately, her followers are retarded. They have not figured it out yet.
Right.
That is,
right.
I think that is very true.
And let's give credit where credit's due, because Tora sent in that video.
Tora,
and
of course.
She did.
That's where we based it off of. So let's give
The
credit
amazing
where
Tora?
credit's due. The
Yes,
amazing
it was
Tora.
It was absolutely Tora that sent the video to Jake, and she tagged us both in there, and it had copyright on it. And I'm like, yeah, we can't use this. So I was like, we'll just make our own. So thank you, Tora. We appreciate it.
Can I just say, SK has been killing it all week, right?
Sure.
I don't know if anybody who has been paying attention, but she's been on Paramount Tactical every day this week covering the Tyler Robinson case. And I don't know about you guys, but I am exhausted about learning about DNA. Like, how long can you argue about DNA? I know more about DNA than I have ever known about DNA in my entire life, and I'm so done with it.
Look, as soon as I learned that all their DNA was on a towel, I was like, I don't want to hear anymore. I don't wanna know anything else.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that one. Like that was.
We all know about that one. We know what we know what's happened there. We don't want to
Right.
know any more details.
Like, of course, the DNA is on a towel, but
So we're gonna try something here that we've never tried before, and we're gonna throw up a poll.
Yep.
So basically, how this is gonna work in YouTube is you're gonna reply with just the number 1, just the number 2, or just the number 3, based on your answer to this question. And I'm just kind of curious how everybody's thoughts have changed since this hearing. I mean, we saw a lot of damning evidence this week, and
K Pasto.
for me, I believe. I mean, I don't think that anybody can not be a 1. Actually, I mean, I think there should be more 2s in there, because we saw a lot of stuff that we didn't see. And imagine that.
I just don't know that I could have been more convinced. I just don't think I could be more convinced than I was before, because I was pretty
I
damn
agree.
convinced.
Yeah, I get that. But I mean, imagine this, you guys. What happens? What happened, right? We actually preserved evidence to try to protect the case.
You guys, patriotic critical thinkers, he's on it, man. He's he's trying to get extra votes in there. See, that's what we call voting fraud.
He has all the ones.
I mean, for me,
what a novel
this is
concept,
crazy.
right? What a novel concept. We preserve evidence so that it can be used appropriately in a legal manner, and not get out and pontificate and speculate and try to get clicks and views.
Agreed.
Yes.
And you guys, real quick, I'm not sure who's all noticed this, but we hired security for this show tonight. We hired KPasto Services Incorporated, Security Services Incorporated, and I asked KPasto if she would do that for us, and she did not hesitate. She jumped right forward and was like, "Yeah, I will definitely run security for you guys and mods." So I just want to say thank you to KPasto, because she didn't hesitate, and of course we've got SK down there. I'm sure she's holding down the fort too. She'll kick somebody before anybody else. I'm just saying. But
SK won't kick anybody. Let's be honest. We like
that's true.
We like opposition here.
I gotta say, I've seen SK in some TikTok debates and stuff like that, and SK is actually really good about acknowledging when. I mean, she will easily handle some opposition, and if someone's respectful, like, she'll acknowledge that they are. So I think that's one of the things about the hosts here. I think everybody is really good at dealing with people who are sane, rational individuals. There's just not that many of them.
See, this part right here. I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but SK, like I said, she's not gonna get rid of anybody. She's received a lot of very negative comments, very dangerous comments. She's never reported a single one of them. We've got a country to save, you guys. We have to keep this message going out to everybody that we possibly can.
Agreed.
She won't even kick someone after a double Durka vodka?
No, she won't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
SK is a unique person. So, and I mean, we're lucky to have all the hosts that we have here. I've seen a lot, and you know, you don't really get to know people by seeing them on a podcast, but we've gotten to know the hosts of the show, you know, pretty well, and they are some of the most amazing human beings that you will ever meet. That, and not just, you know, on the pod, the stuff that they do to help other people, and the genuine kindness that I've seen come from them, like SK is definitely unique. But yeah, they are extremely wonderful people. So we're all lucky to have them and to kind of have this podcast. And so
she's special.
She's very special.
She is very special. We love SK.
All right, you guys, let's get on to this next clip.
Are we all still alive? We're all still awake.
Yeah,
I just want to say that last 15 minutes we just watched, that was definitely the ballad of the useful idiot. We all know that's what they are, and we all know that they're the first ones to go. You activists, leftists, the loud and proud ones, the ones that are causing all the ruckus. You're going to be the first to go.
Yep.
Well, it's because, like, think about it. They teach these people all this activism. They teach them how to be violent. They teach them how. And what do you think is going to happen when they take power? They're gonna learn all this activism and how to be, you know, how to burn down cities. They're just going to burn down the cities then. So you're absolutely right. They have to. Like you said, they'd be lined up against the wall and shot. And of course, people always say, well, that could never happen here.
Yeah. Well, just look at Iran. They were the first ones to go when the Islamists took over. So,
Kyle, that's a very good point.
Great point.
Very good point. All right, you guys, let's get on to this. And
real quick.
Oh yeah,
we will get to this, Devil Dog. Don't worry. Throw in all of your back office video requests, and we will get them all queued up for you guys.
You guys can thank Kate Pasto because she agreed to work for cow money. So we will definitely throw some cow money at you guys. So, all right, let's get on with it.
They pretended that they are actually being guests, VIP intellectuals, that they are treated according to their merits and their intellectual abilities. For us, they were just a bunch of political prostitutes to be taken advantage for various propaganda operations. Therefore, you can see perfectly well the senior colleague of mine on the left doesn't really have that much respect on his face, and myself with a very skeptical smile, typical KGB sarcastic smile, anticipating another victim of ideological brainwashing. This is how a typical conference in Novosti headquarters in Moscow looked like. Sitting in the middle is Boris Burkov, the then director of Novosti press agency, high-ranking party bureaucrat in the Department of Propaganda. I am standing next to a famous Indian poet, Sumitranandan Pant. He was famous because he was an author. He was the author of a famous poem titled Rhapsody to Lenin. That's why he was invited to USSR, and everything was paid by the Soviet government. Pay special attention to number of words. I had to take them to the VIP lounge and toast to friendship and understanding between the nations of the world. Glass of vodka, then a second glass of vodka. And in no time, my guests would be feeling very happy. They would see everything in kind of pink, nice color. And that's the way I had to keep them permanently for the next 15 or 20 days. At certain point in time, I had to withdraw alcohol from them so that some of them who are the most recruitable would feel a little bit shaky, guilty, trying to remember what they were talking last night. That's the time to approach them with all kind of nonsense, such as joint communique or statement for Soviet propaganda. That's the time they are the most flexible. And of course, what they didn't understand, they didn't realize or pretended not to realize, that myself, who was drinking together with them, was not drinking at all. I had ways to get rid of alcohol through various techniques, including special pills which were given to me by my colleagues. But they were taking it seriously. In other words, they would consume quite a large volumes of alcohol and feel quite uneasy next morning. In 1967, the KGB attached me to this magazine, Look magazine. A group of 12 people arrived to USSR from United States to cover the 50th anniversary of October Socialist Revolution in my country. From the first page to the last page, it was a package of lies, propaganda cliché, which were presented to American readers as opinions and deductions of American journalists. Nothing could be far from truth. These were not opinions. They were not opinions at all. They were the clichés which the Soviet propaganda wants American public to think that they think. If it does make any sense at all. It sure does, because from the viewpoint of the Soviet propaganda, although there are some subtle criticism of the Soviet system, the basic message is that Russia today is a nice, functioning, efficient system supported by majority of population. That's the biggest lie. And of course, American intellectuals and journalists from Look magazine elaborated on that untruth in various different ways. They intellectualized that lie. They found all kinds of justifications for telling lies to American public.
Excuse me, it was partly your job to make sure that they got these ideas,
yes,
and accepted them as their own ideas.
Right. Actually, even before they arrived to USSR, and they paid astronomical sum of money for that visit, they were submitted, this Novosti Press agency developed so-called backgrounders, 20-25 pages of information and opinions which were presented to the journalists even before they bought their tickets to Moscow. They had to analyze the situation, and judging on their reaction to that backgrounder, the local Novosti representative or local Soviet diplomat in Washington, D.C. would assess whether they be given visa to USSR or not.
So they were selected ahead of time.
Yes, they were pre-selected very carefully, and there is not much chance for honest journalists to arrive to USSR and to stay there for 1 year and to bring this package of lies back home. This, for example, is a centerfold of the Look magazine. They presented this monument erected by Communist Party in Stalingrad as the symbol, personification of Russian military might. And they said in the article, which is published on the site, that Soviets are very proud of the victory in the Second World War. This is another big myth, a lie. No sensible people would be proud to lose 20 millions of their countrymen in a war which was started by Genoese Hitler and Comrade Stalin and paid by American multinationals. Most of the Soviet citizens look at this type of monuments with disgust and sorrow, because every family lost father, brother, sister, or child in the Second World War. Yet American journalists who were trying to appease, to please their hosts, presented this picture on the centerfold as the symbol and personification of Soviet national, they call it Russian national spirit. And it was greatest misconception and a very tragic misunderstanding. Of course, Look magazine was not distributed in USSR. The main audience was in United States. But I presume that many Americans, millions of Americans who were reading Look magazine at that time, had absolutely wrong idea about the sentiments of my nation, about what the Soviets are proud of and what they hate. This is a group, you see the same lady with the sword in Stalingrad. This is the group of journalists. Myself is in the center with the same devilish smile. And Mr. Philip Harrington is on the extreme left there with his camera. This is the gentleman which was so deaf or so uninterested in what I had to say to him. This is the same picture, a blow-up of the same picture. Many guests from various countries, in this particular case from Asia and Africa, were taken by me as a Novosti press agency employee for a tour across Siberia, for example. We would show them typical kindergarten, you see, nothing special by American standards, just nice children sitting, eating their breakfast or lunch. What they could not understand, or they pretended not to understand, that this is an exemplary kindergarten. This is not the kindergarten for average person or average family in USSR. And we maintain that illusion in their minds. You can see myself under the red spot in the middle there with the same business-like expression. I'm doing my job. That's what I'm assigned to do, and that's what I was paid to do. But deep inside, I still hope that at least some of these useful idiots would understand that what they are looking at has nothing to do with the level of affluence in my nation. This is a better picture which reflects the true spirit of the Soviet childhood. This picture was printed in a Canadian government publication by mistake. In the middle, you can see children playing on a small courtyard, and the caption goes, "This is a typical kindergarten in Siberia." What these idiots didn't understand, that it is not kindergarten at all. It is a prison for children of political prisoners. But there was not a single mentioning that what they were visiting actually was an area of concentration camps. And the job of people like myself to help them to not to notice that they are actually talking to prisoners. Most of the children were dressed, especially on the occasion of the foreigners' visit. Of course, there were no corpses on the ground. There were no machine gun guards. And well, it looks not very pleasant, as you see. It looks dull, but obviously it does not create an impression that this is actually a prison.
Well, did any of the journalists have the curiosity to ask about prisons and that kind of thing?
Yes.
They were in Siberia. This is what you associate.
Yes, some of them asked questions, and naturally we would give them, for the stupid question, we give them stupid answer. No, there are no prisons in Siberia. No, most of the people who you see are free citizens of USSR. They are very happy to be here, and they are contributing to the glory of the socialist system. Some of them pretended that they believe what I was telling them, and most of them, we may discuss it later. What are the motivations of these people? Why would they stubbornly bring lies to their own population through their own mass media? I have various answers to this. There is not a single explanation. It's a complex of explanations. It's fear, pure biological fear. They understand that they are on the territory of an enemy state, a police state. And just to save their rotten skins and their miserable jobs, their affluence back home, they would prefer to tell a lie than to ask truthful questions and report truthful information. Second, most of these schmucks were afraid to lose their jobs, because obviously if you tell truth about my country, you will not last long as a correspondent of New York Times or Los Angeles Times. They will fire you. What kind of correspondent are you? You obviously cannot find common language with Russians if they kick you out in 24 hours. So just by trying to be conformist to their own editorial bosses, they tried not to offend the sentiments of the Soviet administrators and people like myself. Deep inside, I hope they would insult my or offend my sentiments. Obviously, they preferred not to. Another reason, I refuse to believe it, but obviously, there is another reason. Obviously, it's a greed. These people earn a lot of money. When they come back to USA, they claim that they are experts on my country. They write books which sells in million copies, titled like Russians, The Truth About Russia. Most of it is lie about Russia. Yet they claim to be Sovietologists. They play back myth about my country, the propaganda cliches. Yet they stubbornly resist the word of truth. if a person like Solzhenitsyn is either defecting or kicked out of USSR, they try all their best to discredit him and to discourage him. I don't have much chance to appear on national network with a true story about my country. But a useful idiot like Hendrik Smith or Robert Kaiser, they are big heroes. They come back from USSR. They say, oh, we were talking to dissidents in Russia. Big deal. Soviet dissidents are chasing American correspondents in the streets. And they are cowardly escaping from these contacts. For some strange reason, if you want to know more about Spain, you refer to Spanish writers. If you want to learn more about French, you read French writers. Even about Antarctica, I bet you would read Penguins. Only about the Soviet Union, for some strange reason, you read Hendricks and Schmendricks and all kind of Kissingers, because they claim that they know more about my country. They know nothing, or next to nothing, or they pretend that they know more than they actually do. I would say they are dishonest people who lack integrity and common sense and intellectual honesty. They bring back all kind of stories like that. A kindergarten in Siberia. Omitting the most important fact, it's a prison for children of political prisoners. Another greatest example of monumental idiocy of American politicians. Edward Kennedy was in Moscow, and he thought that he is a popular, charismatic American politician who is easygoing, who can smile, dance at the wedding in Russian Palace of Marriages. What he did not understand, or maybe he pretended not to understand, that actually he was being taken for a ride. This is a staged wedding, especially to impress foreign media or useful idiots like Ed Kennedy. Most of the guests there, they had security clearance, and they were instructed what to say to foreigners. This is exactly what I was doing. You can see me in the same damn wedding palace in Moscow where Ed Kennedy was dancing here. You see, smiling. He thinks he's very smart. From the viewpoint of Russian citizens who observe this idiocy, he's narrow-minded, egocentrical idiot who tries to earn his own popularity through participation in propaganda farces like this. Here you can see myself. On the right, again, exemplary Soviet bride.
Count money, five stacks in the envelope. Move, poured up the cracker barrel, so baby, just let it go. Move. So messy in the backfield, now the cash don't show. Move. Hush money from the heifers, politician on the low. Cow money, what? Cow money, yeah, IRS looking funny, but he swear it's all reported, honey. Cow money, cow money. Single mom in DC, now she's singing like the canary. Quincy Institute award on the wall with the real prize in the stall. Libertarian with livestock trying to silence them all. Gary in the group chat, we got him on the farm fraud. Messi tweeting back, fake news, I just love my cows, y'all. Imagine the audit, sir, with the W-2s for the move. These are emotional support, veins, IRS, she out here doing interviews, filling on the teeth. While he's smoking voters, trying not to lose a seat. Moral of the story, never miss the barn with the bay. Cause one bad break up in your cow money on display. 95 BPM, riding slow like a tractor in the lane. Thomas Massey got the game looking like a barnyard shame. Cow money.
Send help.
که شما بگید مرگ در آمریکا یه شعار نیست صرفاً.
with their proxies and their lies. But he answered with American fire from the skies. Hit their bases, brought the payback to their shore. Sent the message, don't fuck with America no more. Peace through strength, that's the doctrine that we need. America first, watch their empires bleed. Trump struck, Trump struck, Trump struck, Trump struck, Trump struck. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Trump struck, Trump struck, Trump struck, Trump struck, Trump struck. Ow! They found out. Trump struck. Trump struck. They found out. Now they know what it means to fuck around. Learn the hard way when you cross the American line. The world is watching as the strong man takes command. Donald Trump defending this great land. He shakes the system, rattles every enemy, brings the thunder, sets the people free for God and country, for the red, white, and blue. Trump delivered, and we ride with him too. Trump struck, Trump struck, Trump struck, Trump struck, Trump struck. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Trump struck, Trump struck, Trump struck, Trump struck. Ow! They found out.
All right. So, what do you guys think about that last Yuri video? Who would have ever thought that the intellectuals in this country are actually the idiots?
Wow, who would have ever thought that? And you know what I thought was funny? They were talking about how they would parade the journalists from other countries around to, and they took them to this like model kindergarten or preschool that looked nothing like the other actual kindergartens, and that reminded me of that movie. I can't remember the one, but
The
you know,
Interview.
yes, The Interview, exactly.
Mhm.
Whenever in North Korea, and they had like the cardboard cutouts of the produce stands and stuff, like acting like they had food.
Oh, hey, chubby little fat kid.
Yes.
That was a good movie. That was an absolutely good movie.
And then the
But
other
yeah.
thing I would like to say is, it's not that socialism doesn't work; it's that you just haven't done it correctly yet.
Well, here's like, if you actually think about it, socialism would work, but you have to put the human element into it. If it was a bunch of computers, it would absolutely work. But the problem is, you have lazy people out there. So if
Right.
you've got lazy people and greedy people and people that want, to control everybody, you would have to remove the human element. When you insert the human element, you have all of that stuff, and you just can't account for that. I mean, you look at Bernie Sanders he was basically kicked out of a commune for being lazy. Go figure. So you've got all of these people that don't want to do anything. Well, who's going to be the producers? That's how you end up getting people turning other people into slaves. And you're going to work, and if you don't work, we're going to kill you. So, I mean, SK's been saying this for a long time. You look at the abundance agenda. It's abundance for them and abundance for, like he was talking about, if you lived in a certain class of people, you're comfortable, you're fine. But if you live in the majority of people, you're basically a slave. I mean, if you think about Russia, they didn't let people leave. I mean, you look at the Berlin Wall. You know, if you left, they killed you. So it was forced labor camps. It was known for concentration camps. I mean, you hear about Germany, but what about the Soviet Union?
Stephen, I agree with you. And I think that this week has kind of, I mean, I don't know if anybody saw his, what was it, Monday, the interview that he had where he basically just said, like, I'm done. Like, these guys are crazy. I can't do this anymore. They're not negotiating or communicating in good faith. They keep coming back and saying, you know, oh, that didn't actually happen. We didn't actually have that conversation. Or the conversations aren't happening. And he's done. I mean, we're to the point where something's got to change. And I think that our president has a plan. I think he has had a plan for a very long time. And we just have to be patient. I mean, just like all of these, you know, criminal investigations that are going on with DOJ, we have to be patient. We have to do things the right way, right?
Agreed. Well, I mean, Jake, me and you have had conversations about some of the stuff that's likely going on in the background in Iran. And I mean, I told you from the start that the MOU was probably not going to last, and that I was pretty sure that Trump was well aware of that.
He knew right away. I mean, we all knew. If you're smart and you're paying attention, you knew that MOU was crap and that it was not going to be followed. And I mean, we were going back to square one regardless, right?
Oh, sure. I mean, they're religious zealots. I mean,
but I think what we have to remember is every time now, currently, that we go back to square one, it's a different square one, right? Because of everything that has happened, like every time. I mean, there's all kinds of things happening. He's doing all kinds of different things. There's different strikes everywhere. We're taking out leaders. We're taking out all of the bad actors. So every single time that we start over, it's a brand new square one.
It's amazing to me that everyone, you know, all the critics out there, they think that they know so much about what's going on. We all know about 2% of the information that he's working off of.
Exactly.
To think that we know better. I elected the man to lead the country, to be the commander in chief, and I've got to give him some leeway. I can criticize him and say my patience is running out, but I can also say that I don't know I don't know what exactly he's doing or what exactly he knows, but I have to trust him.
You guys Tora hit the nail right. Tora hit the nail right in the head. That, you know, Trump has more information. That she knows Trump has more information than we do. Just like, I mean, that's a fact. He's given briefings every single day, and you see all these crazy people on the left, and they want to pretend like they know everything. I mean, we can criticize, sure. We could say that we don't like something or that, you know, our initial view on something, but we don't have all the information either. But at least we understand that. So that kind of gives it, you can't go crazy about that kind of stuff. Like Kyle said, we elected the man to do a job. Let the man cook.
Well, and I think the other huge scenario that everybody has to factor in hearing all these Democratic leaders come out and talk in opposition and say he has no idea what he's talking about, he has no plan. do you really think that he's going to tell them what his plan is?
Exactly. And just, I mean, he's got holding the trump card. You think he's going to show everybody? I mean, no pun intended, but he knows more than they do. He's given the intelligence. And if we haven't noticed with the entire, Trump is very good at the deception game. I mean, flying 2 B-2 bombers opposite ways around the world so that you had no clue what he was doing.
Yep.
He knows that let's see, I just saw this. Hold on. Right here, 4th strike. They leak everything.
That's exactly my point.
Yep.
That was exactly my point. And that is why they are coming out and saying that they have no idea what's going on and he has no plan. He's not being transparent with them. Yeah, I wouldn't be transparent with you either. I'm sorry.
Agreed. We've seen way too many cases of people betraying him. I mean, people that in his first term that we thought were, on his side. We thought that they were, look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, she's a little kooky in the head, but she definitely looked like she was going to back him regardless. And then all of a sudden, look at Thomas Massie. I mean, he was Charlie Kirk's favorite member of Congress. And then he went completely bonkers, and which gave us the incentive to make cow money, which now everybody gets into entertainment out of laughing, and he's now gone. So Trump wins. You might not always have the exact results that you want, but Trump is delivering. I mean, it's so far it's promises made, promises kept. He's put into place almost every single one of his his agenda. He's done almost every single piece of it. So we have to trust that we voted for what we voted for and let the man do his damn job.
Let the man cook.
Let the man cook. All right, you guys. So we've got one more Yuri video. After that, we are going to do a little rapid fire. We're going to blow through a couple different videos. I am going to play. I wasn't going to play this until come September. I am going to play our Charlie Kirk tribute video again. And before we close out tonight, I actually have a very special track that I put together just for everybody in here. So kind of get everyone pumped up. It will be made available for anybody that wants it. We will put it on both on my YouTube, Jake's YouTube, and Patriot Source's YouTube. So you can find it anywhere.
And so just so everybody knows, we are definitely going to go over the 2-hour limit tonight. So stick with us. We've got a little bit more going on, and we really want to get to your guys' personal requests. So stick with us. We still got a little bit going on. It's Friday night. Let's have some fun.
Yeah,
and
we stole the...
Yes. I want to highlight K Pasto's comment really quick because it is exactly 10 months today.
That it.
And whew, yeah.
And it's still hard.
Yeah. I mean, after this week, I'm exhausted again. I mean, I'm happy and I'm proud of that judge, though. I will say he's doing a great job running that hearing. He's letting everything be heard. He's protecting the Constitution.
And you guys, I think that, I mean, I know me and Jake are really in this. I mean, me and Jake are getting off the bench because of Charlie Kirk. I mean, this is the reason why we're here. I wouldn't have found Patriot Source Podcast. I wouldn't have found any of you guys if it wasn't for what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Yep.
And it still to this day has affected my life. And I never met the guy. I watched him every single morning without fail. That was the first thing I did when I woke up in the morning. I grabbed my phone and Charlie Kirk videos popped up. I listened to them while I was getting ready. He was a part of my life just as much as anyone else. And I know every single one of you have some type of a similar story. So I definitely want to play that since we've got this opportunity tonight. So I'm definitely going to play that for you guys. And then, like I said, we're going to close out with something that I put together just for everybody in here. So,
and Kyle, just so you know, you don't have to be held hostage this whole time. If you need to drop off, you can drop off.
I appreciate it.
We
It's been a long week, and I
genuinely
am fading
appreciate you
fast.
being here.
But I probably will have to drop. But I will finish it out in the comments.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you hanging out with us, Kyle.
Thanks
All
for
right, you
having
guys-
me, guys. I really appreciate it. It's been fun.
Hey, you bet. Anytime, man.
Another thing which I had to sometimes risking my life to explain to foreigners. Time magazine, for example, is very critical of South African racist regime. The whole article was dedicated to the shameful internal passport system where blacks are not allowing to live with whites. For some strange reason, for the last 14 years since my defection, nobody wanted to pay attention to my passport. This is my passport. It also shows my nationality, and it has a police rubber stamp, which is called propiska in Russian language, which assigns me to a certain area of residence. I cannot leave that area, same way as this black man cannot leave the area in South Africa. Yet we call South African government racist regime. Not a single Jane Schmonda or Fonda is brave enough, courageous enough to come to media and say, look, this is what happens in USSR. I send a copy of my passport to many American liberals and civil rights defenders and all the other useful idiots. They never bothered to answer me back. This shows what kind of integrity, what kind of honesty these people are. They're a bunch of hypocrites because they don't want to recognize a good example of racism.
Memories.
Well, the most vivid memory of my childhood was Second World War, or to be more precise, the end of the Second World War, when all of a sudden United States, from a friendly nation, which helped us to defeat Nazism, turned overnight into a deadly enemy. And it was very shocking because all newspapers were trying to present an image of belligerent, aggressive American imperialism. Most of the things that we were taught is that United States is aggressive power, which is just about to invade our beautiful, free, socialist country, that American CIA is dropping Colorado beetles on our beautiful potato fields to eliminate our crops. And each schoolboy had a picture of Colorado bug on the back page of his notebook. And we were instructed to go into collective fields to search for those little Colorado bugs. Of course, we couldn't find any. Neither we could find many potatoes. And that was explained again by the encroachments of the decadent imperialist power. The anti-American paranoia, hysteria in the Soviet propaganda was to such of such a higher degree that many less skeptical people or less stubborn would really believe that the United States is just about to invade our beautiful motherland, and some secretly hope that it will come true.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Well, getting back to life inside the Soviet Union or inside communist countries in general, in this country, at the university level primarily, we read and hear that the Soviet system is different from ours, but not that different, and that there is a convergence developing between all of the systems of the world, and that really it doesn't make an awful lot of difference what system you live under because you have corruption and dishonesty and tyranny and all that sort of thing. From your personal experience, what is the difference between life under communism and life in the United States?
Well, life is obviously very much different for simple reason that the Soviet Union is a state capitalist economically. It's a state capitalism where an individual has absolutely no rights, no value. His life is nothing. It's just like an insect. He is disposable. Whereby in the United States, even the worst criminal is treated as a human being. He has a fair trial, and some of them capitalize on their crimes. They publish their memoirs in their prisons and get handsomely paid by your crazy publishers. The differences, of course, in the daily life are very various. depending on whom we are talking about. In my own private life, I never suffered from communism simply because I was brought up in a family of high-ranking military officer. Most of the doors were open for me. Most of my expenses were paid by the government, and I never had any troubles with the authorities or with the police. So, in other words, I would say I enjoyed, or I had good reasons to enjoy all the advantages of so-called socialist system. My main motivations to defect had nothing to do with affluence. It was mainly moral indignation, moral protest, rebellion against the inhuman methods of the Soviet system.
Well, specifically, what did you object to?
I objected, first of all, against oppression of my own dissidents and intellectuals. And that was the most disgusting thing that I witnessed as a young man, young student, who was brought up at a very troublesome period in our history, from Stalin to Khrushchev, from total tyranny and oppression to some kind of liberalization. Second, when I started working for the Soviet embassy in India, to my horror, I discovered that we are millions times more oppressive than any colonial or imperialist power in the history of mankind. That my country brings to India not freedom, progress, and friendship between the nations, but racism, exploitation, and slavery, and of course economical inefficiency to this country. Since I fell in love with India, I developed something which by KGB standards is extremely dangerous thing. It's called split loyalty, when an agent likes a country of assignment more than his own country. I literally fell in love with this beautiful country, a country of great contrasts, but also great humility, great tolerance, and philosophical and intellectual freedoms. My ancestors used to live in caves and eat raw meat when India was a highly civilized nation 6,000 years ago. So obviously the choice was not to the advantage of my own nation. I decided to defect and to entirely dissociate myself from that brutal regime.
Mr. Bezmenov, we've read a lot about the concentration camps and the slave labor camps under the Stalin regime. Now the general impression in America is that those things are part of the past. Are they still going on today, or what is the status?
Yes. There is no qualitative change in the Soviet concentration camp system. There are changes in numbers of prisoners. Again, this is unreliable Soviet statistics. We don't know how many political prisoners are there in the Soviet concentration camps. But we sure know from various sources that at each particular time there are close to 25 to 30 million of Soviet citizens who are virtually kept as slaves in forced labor camp system. The size of the population of a country like Canada is serving terms as prisoners.
Incredible.
So I would say that those intellectuals who try to convince American public that concentration camp system is a thing of a past are either conscientiously misleading public opinion, or they are not very intellectual people. They're selectively blind. They lack intellectual honesty when they say that.
Well, we've spoken about the intellectuals in this country and also the intellectuals in the Soviet Union. What about down at the broad mass level? Do the people in general, the working people, the workers in general in the Soviet Union, do they support the system? Do they tolerate it? What is their attitude?
Well, average Soviet citizen, if there is such an animal, of course, does not like the system because it hurts, it kills. He may not understand the reasons. He may not have enough information or educational background to understand. But I doubt very much there are many people who are conscientiously supporting the Soviet system. There are not such people in USSR. Even those who have all the reasons to enjoy socialism, people like myself, who were a member of journalistic elite, they they also hate system for different reasons, though. Not because they lack material affluence, but because they are unfree to think, they're in constant fear, duplicity, split personality. And this is the greatest tragedy for my nation.
Well, what do you think are the chances of the people actually overcoming their system or replacing it?
There is a great possibility that system will sooner or later be destroyed from within. There is a self-destructive mechanism built into any socialist or communist or fascist system, because there is lack of feedback, because the system does not rely upon loyalty of population. But until this Soviet junta is being supported by the Western so-called imperialists, that is, multinational companies, establishments, governments, and let's face it, intellectuals, so-called academia in the United States is famous for supporting the Soviet system. As long as the Soviet junta will keep on receiving credits, money, technology, grain deals, and political recognition from all these traitors of democracy or freedom, there is no hope, there is not much hope for changes in my country, and the system will not collapse by itself simply because it's being nourished by so-called American imperialism. This is the greatest paradox in history of mankind, when capitalist world supports and actively nourishes its own destroyer, destructor.
I think you're trying to tell us something.
Oh,
in
yes.
This country.
I'm trying to tell you that it has to be stopped unless you want to end up in Gulag system and enjoy all the advantages of socialist equality. Working for free, catching fleas on your body, sleeping on planks of plywood in Alaska this time, I guess. That's where Americans will belong, unless they will wake up, of course, and force their government to stop aiding Soviet fascism.
Well, you told us a moment ago why you left the system. I'd like to hear the details of how you did it. It must have been a very dangerous thing.
It was not so dangerous, it was crazy. First of all, because defecting in India is virtually impossible, thanks to very strong pressure from the Soviet government.
Excuse me, you were in India. On assignment at that time.
Yes, I was working for the Soviet embassy in New Delhi as a press officer. And defecting for a Soviet diplomat is next to impossible. It's a suicide, as I said, because a great friend Indira Gandhi pushed a law through parliament which says, and I quote, "No defector from any country has a right of political asylum in any embassy on the territory of Indian Republic," which is a masterpiece of hypocrisy. No other defector but the Soviet one needs a political asylum. So knowing that perfectly well, I planned a craziest possible way to defect. I studied counterculture in India. There were thousands of young American boys and girls with no shoes, long hair, smoking hash and marijuana, studying sometimes Indian philosophy, sometimes simply pretending that they studied. And they greatly annoyed Indian police, and they were laughing stock of Indians because obviously they were good-for-nothing students. I studied carefully where they congregate, what routes they travel, what language they speak, what do they smoke. And one day I simply joined a group of hippies to avoid detection of Indian police. I was dressed as a typical hippie with blue jeans, long kameez shirts, with all kind of nice decorations like beads, long hairs. I bought a wig because for several weeks I had to turn myself from a conservative Soviet diplomat into a very progressive American hippie. And that was the only way that I could avoid detection. It was very interesting experience, but it was necessary because from my own knowledge as a member of Soviet embassy staff, I knew that there were many cases when Soviet defectors were betrayed by Indian police, And also some Western embassies played a very dirty role in betraying the Soviet defectors. According to our information, they were some, I wouldn't call them double agents, but simply amoral people working for this for the United States Embassy. And confining in people like this would be a suicide. So I had to be extremely careful. I could not trust anyone.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
No one knows how many people have died in the crackdown. We may never know. Our own CBS News review of hospital figures indicates that at least 300 have died. The figure may be as high as 3,000 or more.
They told us it was freedom. They told us it was love. Smile while they're holding you down. Smile while they're holding you down. Smile while they're holding you down. Started in the classroom, rewrite the past. Tear down every statue, make the future match. Tell a kid he's guilty for the blood in his veins. Tell another one his only worth is in his pain. Then you call it healing while you're handing out the chains. Call it liberation while you're rewiring brains. Every revolution wears the mask of the meek till the boots on your throat and you can't even speak. You can rebrand the chains. Call it justice, call it fair, but I know a cage. When I see one in the air, we won't kneel. Won't sell our souls for the dream you sell. We won't kneel. Done dressing up control-less care. You can take the mic, you can take the stage, but you can't take the fire when we rage. We won't kneel. Not now, not ever, never. They came for Charlie cause he wouldn't shut his mouth. Took a man with words cause they couldn't shout him out. That's the playbook. Silence, cancel, then erase. Couldn't beat the message so they tried to kill the face. But every voice they bury makes 1,000 more. Every martyr major sharpens up the war. We remember names, we don't forget the cost. We carry every brother and sister we lost. You can rewrite the page, edit out our names, but the fire that he lit is the fire in our veins. We won't kneel. Won't sell our souls for the dream you sell. We won't kneel. Done dressing up control-less care. You can take the mic, you can take the stage, but you can't take the fire when we rage. We won't kneel. Not now, not never, never. 100 million dead, but they still wanna try it. Marks in the textbook, and they still wanna buy it. Same script, same scam, same flag, same lie. Wrap it in a rainbow, and they'll still let you die. Cool lie, killing fear, wall in a curtain. In the end, there's always blood. That's the only thing certain. But you sell it to the kids like it's never been done. Like the graveyard of a century, never wait a time. And every utopia built on a grave. Every paradise promised a cage. You can't have my mind, you can't have my voice, you can't have my soul. I still have a choice. You won't take what he died for. You won't take what he died for. We won't kneel.
Another.
Gosh, every time that plays, I just get lost and I don't know how to start talking after it ends.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. That is, when I was doing that, it took me, I mean, really since it happened to write that song. I mean, I started writing it the day that it happened. And every time I did, I would get so far. And when I started actually putting it together, it was hard. Every single time I would have to stop and leave it sit for days. That was the hardest one that I've ever done. So it's just something about Charlie. We'll never see another Charlie Kirk.
We will not. We will never see another Charlie Kirk. And it's our duty. It's our duty to keep his fight going, you guys. I mean, I can't even put my emotions into words about how much that man meant to me and how much he changed my life. I mean, I put it into the comments earlier, but I'll say it flat out. I prayed for the first time in over a decade the day that he died.
Yep. I fell to my knees as soon as I saw what happened. I knew there was no chance. I've seen stuff like that way too many times, and I'm like, as soon as I saw it, I fell straight to my knees. I couldn't get up. So, and I know every single person in here has a similar story. It's not something we even have to question. Every single person who,
yeah,
that everybody has a Charlie Kirk story. It's we'll never see something like that in our lifetime again. Now, I mean, I remember when you had John F. Kennedy, and well, I don't remember that, but I wasn't alive then. But you had John F. Kennedy, you had Martin Luther King, and people were crying. And it's you think about it when you're younger, like why? Like I don't understand. Now we do, and I think everyone.
This comment right here.
Yep.
Honestly, I mean, sorry, you got to talk.
I'll tell you what it's the fact of Charlie was within the body of Christ, and every single one of us who people of faith, who have faith, who believe in Christ, it's a connection. Every single one of us are connected through that. And when blood was spilt of someone who loved Christ so much and who put so much time into bringing people together, that's why everyone, I mean, that's where the hurt comes from. That's where the pain comes from. We had a connection, even though we didn't know him. We still had a connection.
Yep. And
all right, you guys.
You know, I'm just gonna read this again. I've read it multiple times. But on my wall in my room, where I do all of my work, I have a little poster, and every time that I'm exhausted and I'm trying to find a way to continue fighting this fight, I look over at this image, and I'm just going to read the quote to you guys. I know everybody's heard it 1,000 times, but it rings so true to me on almost a daily basis, so I just want to share it with you. It's a quote from Charlie Kirk, and it says, "If you believe in something, you need to have the courage to fight for those ideas, not run away from them or silence them." And that is one of my absolute favorite quotes from him, and it has kept me in this fight.
That's a good one. And I think that's another thing about Charlie. He could always turn a phrase. He always had something to say, and it was always words of wisdom. It was never because he spoke from his faith. He spoke from what he knew, and what he knew was Jesus Christ. So, all right, you guys, we are going to now play this. I put together for all the people in here. There's no video. It is just the audio, but this is for everyone in here who has faith, who believes in this country, who believed in Charlie, who still believes that God is going to get us through every aspect of the struggles that we are facing. So with that, we're gonna sign off, and we're gonna get this out there for you, and we will see you all. Don't forget Red Wave Podcast Sunday night, and then Monday we're kicking off the whole entire communism series. It'll be 2.5 months of lots of information.
Before we go, really quick,
Sure.
I know everybody saw this comment, and I really want to address it before we go. It really discouraged me to read this comment, because I know that this person has been following this podcast for months and months and months, and I don't know if he missed the part where I explained that the video that we played today is literally the backbone of every single thing that this podcast has been talking about for months.
Mm-hmm.
But this really threw me off, and thank you very much, K-Pasto, because this is just, this is crazy. The fact that you can't put these connections together after all of the dots that we've been drawing for you.
Well, he was trolling.
I get it.
As soon as I saw that, I kicked him. So, and he was speaking.
But here's the deal.
During Charlie.
and I get why we did the timing on that, but I'm just gonna say that I'm going to remove the ban on this person, because he needs to watch the series that we're about to start.
I'm okay with that.
We
always joke.
These are the people that they're not grasping the whole picture, and what we're trying to put together for you guys is the entire picture. It's going to be a lot. We're going to keep it entertaining for you guys so that you're not exhausted over it, but you really have to pay attention to the next couple of months on this podcast network, because it's going to be big. There's a lot of information that we're going to drop to you guys, and
it is a lot.
You need to pay attention. We have a nation to save, you guys. I cannot stress how important it is that you pay attention.
Yep.
And with that, I'm going to drop that comment, but I'm also going to throw another shout out to Steven really quick, because he gifted us another 10 memberships.
And did you see what he had to say here? I have never worn a cross, but I ordered one. It came in the day before Charlie Kirk was shot. You know what? Praise God.
Yep.
Praise God for every single person that is brought to faith, because if one good thing, if more people turn to Christ because of Charlie Kirk, I'm not going to say that, because it will never justify his death, but at least he doesn't die completely in vain. And I think that Charlie would want to bring as many people, and he would have given his life to turn people to Christ. And I truly believe that he wanted that. That's what he wanted. He wanted to be known for the courage for his faith. I will never forget that quote from him. I want to be known for the courage for my faith.
Amen.
That is the quote that sticks with me. every single day. So with that, you guys, we love you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're going to end. Like I said, this is something special for you guys. The song is called Don't Let Us Fall.
We're standing on the edge. The face fading, freedom bleeding. God, don't let us fall.
All right, you guys. So we're having a little bit of an issue here, and I'm going to just fix the problem and play it. Jake, you still there?
Yep.
Okay, you want to talk for a sec? Because I'm gonna fix this a different way.
You're good.
I want them to make sure that they.
Yeah, we definitely got to get this video figured out. So it's
Give me a minute.
it's all good.
This is an easy,
You know,
easy fix.
sometimes there's technical difficulties, and that's all right. But you know, I genuinely appreciate everybody coming by tonight. You know, I know it wasn't the normal crew. It's the first time that I've literally ever been on a podcast. So, you know, I was definitely a little bit nervous, but I appreciate you guys supporting. And it sounds like we're good to go. So let's get out of here. Have a good
We're
night.
hoping so. You guys have a good night.
We're standing on the edge. The face fading, freedom bleeding. God, don't let us fall. We're standing. Don't let us fall. God guide us, we're drowning in the noise. Liberal venom disguised as a righteous choice. They tear down the borders, they tear down the cross. Call it progress while they're counting up the cost. Twisting every value till the truth starts to break. Open minds, open gates, watch the nation stop the shit. They preach love and acceptance while they sharpen the knife. Selling soul for power in the name